Hi, so this video is regarding what I've been doing since long. I have been posting like posts or blogs on this, but as of what I have been informed, that some of the people in through my Instagram and my LinkedIn account have messaged me to, you know, say to inform me they some kind of these posts that I'm posting uh, on my blog, which they have taken a look, are somewhat discreet to him or her. So or them, yeah. So so I thought of making this video in which I will give a walkthrough of what exactly I have been doing, so that it becomes a little bit understandable. Like if the blog post has been read with the help of after watching this video, then I guess there will be a improvement in the clarity of understanding the posts that I have been posting so far on my blog. So I'll just, without taking much time, I'll just start introducing this app. So this app is basically a Django app, and this is a inventory system. This is related to e-commerce, of course. But more specifically, to be more specific, it is a inventory system, kind of tool, you could say. But it is not in the production level, it is not in any higher level. This is just a portfolio that you can do it all by yourself, implementing all the features and all of that. So let me go into the technicalities if I am clear about what is the uh, super high level understanding of this. So going to the low level code level stuff. So this is the project directory. I've included a lot of things because I was experimenting a lot of things on this before I started it, and I will also upload this into my GitHub repository for you to take a look. But just watch this video from start to uh, end to actually know which stuffs you are supposed to refer in order to understand that. So these Amazonish logs, products, static tasks, templates, these folders are what coming into play when you want to understand this project. So let me start with so you got to start with setting up a basic Django app. There's a lot of resources available on the internet. I also referred a lot of resources on the internet to set up this. You could also do that. That's like setting up the Django app is all about just creating this env folder and this Amazonish folder, inside which you have to create subfolders, and these folders are separate modules which you want to apply. So this is the master core. You could call it Amazonish because I am a little bit passionate about the name itself, but you could call this as core because this will contain all the files. That is actually a connecting link between different modules and inherit the uh, functionality and the interconnectivity of various modules involved in this. Now, so this is the core module. As you could see, these are all, I have used Flyway because I was I wanted to create the tables with Flyway, but you could also do that manually. That is also acceptable when you are doing a portfolio, actually. So there are some important files in this. I've used Celery also. You could also use Celery. I will clarify this in some time in future, but right now let's just focus on what exactly you are supposed to know when you are reading the series of posts on my blog, which is actually a matter of concern as of now. So this is the settings file, the most important file, the backbone of this application, as you could see. So here we are declaring the static files. These are the static files which the UI that you see in which the products in catalogs are getting uploaded in one of my posts, and yeah, it is there in the second part of the post. The configuration lives here. Okay, so this static parameter actually refers to this folder. Okay, so you are getting this main JS, main CS, and jQuery, and all of this. So here the static files are there. Now this is the configuration for the Celery broker, because I was planning a cache system also for the API requests, so that whenever we are calling, actually in the front end I am calling the endpoint that gives you the result, the list of products repeatedly. So, and every time it is reaching the server actually as of now. But I want to make it available in the cache, so that if the same number of products are there without any increment from the backend side, then it should come from the cache. So I will implement it later and will let you know about that. But as of now, this is the configuration on this part. And these are the default. Whenever you will set up the Django app, it will come automatically. The only change that you have to do is in this installed app. Now this is Amazonis, that's the core app that we are referring to, and anything like any specific module that you want to implement, you want to actually put that in this installed app, so that it gets connected and you get to access that throughout the app. So this was about the settings files. The next file is the URLs file. Okay, so the URLs, this is from the product Amazonish. So the URL is actually where you define all the URLs of the API and even for the UI. So here the admin URL, the GraphQL, the product URL, and everything else is there. So this is the URL of the cron. This is the endpoint that we are calling, that I am calling at the back, at the front end, to get the result of products. And this is the return home page. Like the root is, suppose we are running in 8000 port. So if I try to access, okay, my server is not running. Okay, I'll show you later. Okay, so this is, or else should I show you right now? Okay, let me show you. So I am starting my Docker. So this Docker configuration, that has also to be done. I will do a separate post on that. So let it get started. So once it gets started, try to access this home page. This home page is that page in that video that you are seeing in the second post, which shows the products, and it is in the root of the file. So here this is the return home page. It is a function in the in this views of products, and that is a class, and it is a class method that I'm calling. And these are all naming convention and syntax stuff. Okay, now I guess I can access it. Oh, it's broken. Okay, so I'll it's something we will see it later. So like I added some of the email stuff, so it got broken. So that is specifically that page that you see in the in this video, uh, that you see in the so I'll just show you that. Since it is broken, I'll just visit my, this is the part 2. This is the UI that I am referring to. So this is basically that route which I was talking about. So currently it is broken, it needs to be fixed. So as you could see, if I am adding a product to the GraphQL, a new product is getting added. So that's what the things that we are going to see in this video. So if I go back to my project, so I'm getting that in the root. So that was all explanation about the URL patterns. Now let me go to the GraphQL part where we are actually adding it to the database. So here the first thing that we want to do is, let me just close this one. We have to create the model. I was actually, creating a collection of the products. So this is the model. We have the category ID and all the fields that is required, including the stocks, and these are all syntax conventions in the. I was talking about this model. So this is the product model properties, and then we are initializing it to the ID so that we could fetch it through ID. And these are the all metadata that we want to present. This is the category model. So these are the two models that actually I have created. We could also create a lot of other models to be involved in this inventory tool, but that is something that is supposed to be taken at the advanced level, which is not the goal as of now. So that's the model. Now the next step after the creating the model, we got to register that, which is done in the admin by. So this, when you will run the command, which I don't remember, I'll mention it in one of the posts of the blog. And so after running that commands, you will get all the files by default. So this is the file admin by, where you have to register all your models. So having done that, we will go to the schema and we will create, and we'll import the models, and then we have to use this database connector of Django Graphene. That is one of the database connector, the database plugin through which we can interact with the database from the Django app. So we can use that, and we have to mention that in the settings files of the code folder. So here is the category type. We have to give all the metadata, the product type, all the metadata, and then we have to combine and then we have to do the queries. So here we are doing like mutation query because we are adding it, and we are also doing the selection query where we are retrieving it. So these are all actually a common method that we have to use for adding the mutation. So this is Python GraphQL pattern that we have to follow, and this is a proven pattern. There is nothing to reinvent from the wheel. It is already there. We have to just follow it and add to the database and retrieve from the database. So this is this is create category, update category, create product, update products. And these are the CRUD. I would not say it is as a complete CRUD because we are not reading the data as of now with this GraphQL. We are using Crons for that, and we are only deleting, and the delete part is yet not implemented, which is supposed to be in in future maybe. But this is a part of CRUD that we are doing for this mutation. Okay, so that was all about the GraphQL. So once you do that, you will be able to add the products to the GraphQL, to the database using GraphQL. So that was that graph. I have used GraphQL with for the interaction with the database. So that part is some like is specified with GraphQL. And the next thing that we want to do is, after having done the model and then registering it and then putting the model input and schema, we have to, like I said in the beginning, we have to mention the endpoint which the UI will use to get the data, to add the data. So sorry, so for this one we have to use the GraphQL endpoint because we want to access the playground where we will have that adding of the data, and also the UI will, we also have to you know get this endpoint up in the UI, where from we will be able to add the product and delete the product and update the product using the UI. For now this is backend actually, but the UI will also call this endpoint to add, delete, and update. Okay, so that was about the GraphQL part. The next part is the most interesting part because I found it very interesting when I was coding that. So it is like retrieval of the product. Now retrieval stuffs are always very much dearer to me as compared to the insertion stuffs. But so here let's go and see what we have to do when we want to retrieve the product. So I'll close all of this. So that was all about the GraphQL part. So for the retrieval part, we will create one tasks folder, that is the task folder, and that will be a views folder. Okay, and there will be a sample task folder. Now in this sample task folder, what we will do, Django DB, which is the intrinsic DB provided by the Django app. From there we'll get a manager, that is one high level class, and we can use this class to create another class which will be used for declaring the methods that will be used for getting the product. So here I have declared two methods for getting select all to get all the products, and get stocks to get some like price, title, stocks ID from the stocks, where the stock is some. So we are actually sending, there is a feature in this app where we are sending an email to the user who is to the vendor actually. So he or she will get the email when the stock of the products are 10 or less than 10. So we have to give the stock number to retrieve the products which are actually less than 10. So this query that is providing an interface with the database from the app gives this information. So that is all about database connectivity for the retrieval of the product. Now next we'll go to this one. Here I have created, we are using crons, which I am using cron, so which has to be declared in a file which is actually getting started when the app loads. So this is the app spy. Here this is whenever we are actually loads, whenever we are whenever the apps get loaded. So this apps.py, this is the file that gets loaded, and it gets the app config object which is provided from the Django app, and using this we are doing this products config class which has a ready method, and I have overridden the ready method. So these all things you will get in the Django documentation. Okay, so that is the app, and that's the method that is implicitly provided by Django. And what I'm doing is I'm just lazily loading the required files, and I'm using app scheduler for creating the crons. I'm creating a background scheduler and adding the jobs which are running as crons whenever the app is actually getting started, and the logs you could see over here. So this is actually consistently running, and it is giving all the logs of that. We will go through that what it is showing right now, but yeah, these are the logs. So that was all about mentioning the crons. And where was I? Yes, the product. So here in this run cron, what I'm doing is I am getting all the products. I'm connecting with the product manager query set method. So I'm getting all the products, and I'm putting that in the response, and I'm passing that response to the home HTML. That is the HTML file which is the front end for Django. Of course, we pass this list of products to be shown in the UI, but this is the cron which is consistently getting all the products. So that's why in that video you could see that whenever, as soon as I add the product, it is getting updated, because this is a cron which is consistently getting all the objects, and this consistently getting all the objects are being passed to the UI. So that's the idea actually. So that was all about displaying the products. Now the next thing feature is that whenever the stocks are less than 10 or equals to 10, the owner is getting an email that the stock is getting out of the product is getting out of stock, and he need to replenish it. So this is the function from this, where the entire logic is implemented for getting the product. So here I'm getting the query set and getting the product, converting to JSON, and checking whether the JSON object is present or not, iterating to that, finding the stock field, comparing, and then getting the stocks. Okay, getting the stocks with the stock whatever it is there, passing as an argument stock ID as an argument, and then getting all the values of the stock, title and price, and sending this to the send email. Now here in this send email, I'm declaring the format, like which this has to be a dynamically done database operations, where we'll have a table where all the informations would be there, but for now it is hard coded. I mean, this is just a portfolio application, so that's why it is hard coded, nothing serious about this. So that is a kind of text that we want to show to the person, the owner. This is the from mail from, and this is the to mails, and I'm also checking the validity. So here is it is validity. If you are not getting the at the rate, then it is not valid. Okay. So after checking the validity, I am passing all of that in the HTML part. So that is I'm using a SMTP library for creating this entire flow. So this is all that could be found as a part of implementation of the SMTP. So here after validating, after creating the messages and everything, I'm calling this send email function. So this send email function is actually creating a server, okay, and this server is actually sending, this is actually doing the main thing, and here also some of the exception handling is done so that the PubSub stuff that I'm implementing using RabbitMQ to store the logs of whether the emails has been sent or not should get persist in the database, which is not implemented as of now. That is the work in progress. That's why I did this video, to let you understand what stuffs has been implemented so far. So but here this is so this is the first thing. If so, I'm changing the port. I'm going to the negative scenario first. I'm changing the port, and then this is the error that I'm getting, and I am storing that in the returnable variable, and then returning this particular error to the calling function. So if there is no port error, then this, if there is error, then it will stop over this. If there is no error, then it will go through this and will get executed. This will be the ultimate message that a successful email sent would show in the logs, and this is what a negative scenario is, and this is the method, this is the message that it will be shown to the UI in case the port is wrong or something, like any kind of error code happens. So okay, so let me go to the, so there is a PubSub implemented for this. So okay, give me just going back a little bit before going to the PubSub thing. So this is the class, and this is a function that is taking care of all of this. The function is calling another function and returning the value of the called function to the calling function. So this is the first return, and this is the second return. This is the main return actually, where all the results from this exception handling and success, covering the successful and negative scenario, is been returned to this function, which is returned to this function, and this is the main function that is called in the PubSub method when we are publishing the logs to the database. Or I may, let's say I'll use Redis to capture this logs. So going to the PubSub stuff, so publisher, subscriber, so this is a message for broker. Why I wanted to use this, because whenever I am sending message, because sometimes the server would be unavailable, sometimes there will be some kind of codes, error codes, that might be temporary, or which requires some sort of changes in the in some of the other aspects to get fixed. So until that is accomplished, so there has to be a retry, like whether they're accomplished or not, to confirm that and to send that particular message in the particular format to the particular person. We have to retry sending that email. So that is the goal why this message broker was implemented, so that whenever there is some error in sending the logs, whether the email is sent successfully or there is some error in sending the email. So in order to persist the negative emails, whatever whatever the system is sending, until it gets fixed, we have to store that in some way which represents the state of the current transit, that is current transmission that is happening. So So this is the publisher. That's why I use this RabbitMQ, which is the message broker that will engulf the message until it is corrected, and then gives the correct message to the correct person, or discards if it is not, if the issue is permanent. So that is the retry logic that I want to implement using this message broker. So for this, there is a connection. I have created a class which is the connection, and RabbitMQ, we have to connect to the RabbitMQ. So this is all, and Pika is the library which is actually giving an interface for connecting to the RabbitMQ manager. So that is the connection, and in the publisher class, I am instantiating the connection class and calling this method and giving the configuration. The configuration should be in env file. I have not. This is a simple URL that connects to the RabbitMQ server. So this has to be in the env file. So that is for the channel. So this is the channel that we are creating for further manipulations and then operations. So this is the class method which is actually called here in the cron. So for the publishing method, for the publisher, publish message is responsible for putting the message to the RabbitMQ. So that is what the publish method is doing. So creating a connection, then using that connection, okay, and declaring an exchange. Exchange, in these are all terms related to RabbitMQ. So exchange is something that creates a connecting point between the queues, because in RabbitMQ we are storing the message in the queues. So we have to declare a queue, we have to declare a exchange, we have to connect the exchange to the queue. We have to connect the queues with the help of the exchange. So I'm declaring a queue first, that is dead letter exchange, and it is the exchange type is direct, and then declaring a dead letter, and these are all configuration that you will get. These are all default configuration, and routing key is like in message in message broker concept. A dead letter queue, whenever the message is coming to a particular queue to be stored, if the message comes in a delayed manner, or the message is coming from the negative scenario, it goes to the dead letter queue instead of going to the main queue. It goes to the dead letter queue, and after it is fixed, all the retries would happen and everything would happen. After it getting fixed, it will come back to the main queue to be delivered to the particular function, or requeue you could call it as, or else it gets discarded. So this is the dead letter queue that I am declaring, which is using this dead letter exchange type. Okay, and dead letter routing key is like which the dead letter queue has to be connected to a main queue. So this is the main queue, task queue is the main queue, that is it getting connected, and then I'm binding dead letter queue with the exchange. So that provides a field of a means of communication between the dead letter queue and the main queue. Then this is a print, and then I'm declaring the main queue, and the routing link, we are doing the vice versa thing. Okay, so that it will be bi-directional, so that whenever the message is been fixed, it could go to the main queue, and whenever the message is having some issue, it could go to the dead letter queue after being transformed from the main queue from the app. And then again I'm binding that exchange type is this direct. This, all of this you will be getting in the documentation. Okay, and then After this one, after we are creating the dead letter queue, the main queue, the main thing is we have to get the message that is supposed to be published to the main queue. So basic publish, exchange, routing key is the main queue, and this is the body. Body here in my case, the body are the logs. So the logs, whether the email is sent or not. So if I'll show you the logs, I'm getting, yeah, the cron is running, and then all of this are getting this is successfully not sent, and this is actually the where is the error? Okay, this is actually the error that is happening. Cannot assign requested address because I have changed the port. It is not finding the correct port to connect to the email server. So that's why this is the request that is actually getting stored. I can, yes, this is the method that is actually getting stored in the queue, in the main queue. From the main queue, it could go to the dead letter queue, and from the dead letter queue, after it's been fixed, the retry happens, it would go to the main queue to get delivered. So that part is pending. That implementation is pending, but this is the work in process. This is how I have been so far on this. So going back to the so this is the basic publish. Okay, we are publishing it to the main queue, so that message that we are getting, we are publishing to the main queue. Then we have to subscribe. Here also we are getting a connection, and then declaring the connection, and this is the main consumer part, which is also we are calling as a cron when the app starts. So it will publish and it will subscribe also same time. So this is the basic consume method on which I'm calling a callback, and auto acknowledgement is false. This is a different a more deeper concept that I want to talk about on some future posts that I'll be posting. But yes, we have to acknowledge that in a manual manner, and here starting and then uh, start consuming, and all of this are happening. So this is the main callback where we are actually doing the retry logic. So if everything goes fine, the body will be we can do the database insertion and all of that of the logs that we are getting using this, or any kind of logic that we want to make, which is undecided as of now. So I'm just console logging the body right now. uh, so that is the try part, and the exception part is where we are doing the retry count. These are all properties, methods, and these are all the things we will be getting after it has been consumed. And we want to see whether the retry count is less than 5, then we will requeue. We will not requeue, and then if it is less than, if it is greater than 5, then we will acknowledge it. If it is greater than 5, then we will acknowledge it. So this is the main retry logic that I have implemented over here, for how many times the particular uh, request to be sent to the application before it, and see whether it is giving any positive log or negative logs. So this was all about it that have been so far. I hope this would have been a meaningful video for you in order to understand the post that I will be doing in the future. So do refer this video, which gives you a overall high level information, also with the code level implementation of this what should I call this app actually. Should I call it I'm not getting that word currently. Okay, whatever, I'm not getting the word. So yeah, so just do refer to this and let me know how this video appears to you or sounds to you, because you cannot see me, of course. in coming videos I am planning that you could see me, because some of the messages I got in Instagram is like head to head video would be a nicer one for them to understand. I am a little bit hesitant in giving head to head videos, but yeah, that's fine. Thank you.